What's up? I am doing this video, but I'm also pretty frustrated with what went on. I'm going to talk about the Trump thing at the end. If you don't want to hear it, turn it off. But until then, I'm going to talk about Millville and the 250s. Try to keep it light, but I got some serious thoughts that I'm going to drop at the end. I'm going to talk about Deegan and how this kid is a savage. Chancehus, man, the highs and lows. So does this mean Levi's officially fixed his issues? Cochran is going to be a problem for these guys when he gets a little bit more speed. I'm going to talk about all that and more. So remember, guys, subscribe. I don't know why, but people are still emailing me and texting me and writing in the comments that they're getting unsubscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. And if you have already subscribed, just double check. Make sure you're still subscribed because, I don't know, either hundreds and hundreds of people are lying or it's actually happening. You guys tell me.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So Millville in the 250 class, this was different. Deegan took off in that first moto and looked like he was going to run away. Apparently he got some arm pump, which is kind of strange. I don't think I've ever heard Deegan really complain of arm pump, but his bike looked a little off on those downhills. Who knows what went on, but the kid is a savage. Despite getting he was the biggest winner on the day. As they went into that first turn and he piled it up and his pipes sideways, this kid gets up in these horrible conditions that are just yard selling dudes all over, and Haiden Deegan fights all the way up there and gets third overall and gaps guys. Now he's got over a one event lead. He's got a 2 moto advantage. This championship is his and he will not be denied. And I did hear James Stewart say something funny. They were going to change his pipe because of the sound regulations. There is a provision in that rule, so if there's damage or something happens, the AMA official can come over and say, hey, that's not normal sound of the bike, so we understand, and they do have an exemption for that. So that's not a problem. They would not need to change that, and they would not get a sound penalty because of that. And after the moto, before, I'm sure Deegan had no idea that Chancehus was off getting attended at the medical rig. I don't think he would have been as mean had he known that, Hymus is probably injured. He was pissed. That's 2 times now. He got him at High Point, and he got him here. For whatever reason, Chancehus crosses over on Deegan on these starts, and Deegan doesn't like it. And that's one of those race situations where it's really hard to judge from the outside, but the riders, they both know if it happened, and Haiden seems to think it did. Now, will he pay back Hymus? He might have to wait a long time, but more about Chance in a second. I love the interviews with Haiden Deegan. This is what the sport needs. Even if he didn't have quite all the information, and he went up there and he told you exactly how he felt. He told Hymus, I owe you one. He went up there and the guy is a savage. He's everything this sport has needed. That's why I've been leading my show. I normally focus on the 450s first, but I'm sorry, Haiden Deegan, biggest star in the sport, and the most fun to talk about. So I start with the 250s these days. I know a lot of you guys don't like my gambling shows. You're not into the gambling, but hey, if you do, you guys paid off big because I said sprinkle a little bit on Levi at 10-1 because I thought he had a chance. Did I think he was going to win? No, but I knew he had a chance, and I had heard, through the grapevine that he was dealing with some sort of an injury from a practice crash and that it was healing. And the way he rode last week when he got third in that second moto, his confidence. And I told you to pick him for a hole shot because I thought he would get that. He didn't get that, but 10-1 paid off for you guys. So way to go. Now, Levi's pretty much out. This championship is Haiden Deegan's. Unless something catastrophic happens, this is his. And he just is so determined. Nobody's going to beat him. But I think Levi, with this result and with the confidence, he is going to probably end up in second. And I'm excited to see how he does in the SMX or Super Duper. That's a different format, and I think he might be able to bring something different to the table during those races. Are you a vet racer and you trying to figure out how to recover and how to maintain and how to get ready for events while working and doing all these different things? Check out the Coach Rob podcast, coachrobpodcast.com, or the Coach Rob Show on YouTube. Either one of those. Toolman Dan and Coach talk about everything that faces vet racers and their struggles. So check that out. Head over to epicgaragedesigns.com. Travis Ogburn is the owner over there, and he loves racing. And if you see him at the track, by the way, with his van, go say hi. He's probably one of those friendly guys you'll meet at the track. He has a special this month for the tall cabinets. The cabinet special, 2 cabinets. They're 80 by 81 inches. Big cabinets, bigger than the normal ones. $27.50 shipped to you. Bolt them to the wall. You'll make your garage look really badass. EpicGarageDesigns.com. So Casey Cochran had the best ride of his career. He looked like he was going to win that second moto, and he gave Levi Kitchen fits. This isn't something new for Casey Cochran, the way he takes lines and blocks. I watched him as an amateur, and he is one of the most cagey, difficult riders to pass there is. He seems to know where somebody's going before they go. And when he gets a little bit more speed, and he's close, but he is going to be a problem. And I'm excited to see Casey Cochran as he develops into that full-fledged challenger. Once he gets in the mix with those top guys, they're not going to like it. He has a racecraft that is ruthless and really, really good. He's kind of like Cooper Webb with a little bit of spice on top of it. So when Casey Cochran gets a little bit more speed, you saw a taste of it in that second moto when he was blocking Levi Kitchen. I can't wait to see the drama that he creates, but this kid's good, and that confidence is going to propel him quite a bit. On the other end of the spectrum, Chancehus. This might be it for a while. I don't know how bad that injury was. I'm recording this, Saturday evening, and I don't know the report. He'll probably have to get an MRI. Who knows? ACL, whatever the issue is, I don't know yet, but it looked bad. You don't pull off in the first lap if it's not serious. Now, he's been accused by Deegan of crossing over on the starts and doing those dirty things, and truly only those two know how dirty it was, because when you're right, that's one of those situations where you really have to be in the saddle to experience the intent. And when you're riding, you can feel it. And clearly Deegan was pissed. I don't know if that's even on Hymus's mind right now, because man, the highs and lows of this sport. This dude comes from winning his first race at Redbud. That was just epic. Then he comes in here and he's battling through the start. He actually was in the lead in his leg after the Deegan incident. He couldn't ride. He had to pull off. Just the highs and lows of this sport are absolutely brutal, and I'm gutted for Chancehus. He was really coming into his own, and I would much rather see him out there at 100% and see if Deegan could actually repay him. He probably would. But to see him go down like this, I would imagine Deegan doesn't even want it to go that way. Tom Vialle. Man, you'd think a guy that has 2 championships wouldn't fold like a pretzel. In that second moto, he had everything on the table. Everything was right there for his taking. He could have got a significant amount of points on Deegan, the overall win, and he crashed, pulled off for goggles. I mean, I was so disappointed. You see the complete opposites. You see Haiden Deegan facing adversity, fighting through it, and doing what he needed to do. And then you see the complete opposite with Tom Vialle. I was so disappointed in him pulling off the goggles. It's not exactly inspiring when you've got a guy like Haiden coming through the field after his adversity, and then you see Tom just folds up shop. It was kind of embarrassing for him. Head over to Ride Strapped. Get your patriotic goggles. Get your Let's Go Brandon goggles. Get your shirts, your red pill. This is a company who believes in America. Support Ride Strapped. Yeah, I'm feeling a little patriotic today. I'm a little upset. I'll get into that in a second. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Head over to PreTransport.com. This is a family-owned business. They take care of people. They find your stuff. It's tracked, and they have customer service. And if you've dealt with trucking companies, most of them suck. Not Precision Transport. Hit up PreTransport.com. A couple of guys that had career rides. Ryder DeFrancisco was up there in 4th for a long time. I think he finished out that second moto in 5th. Dylan Schwartz was up there battling on the Suzuki. It's just nice to see those guys up there kind of getting some TV time and building their confidence. I know it was a mud race, but it wasn't a full-fledged mud race. It was just a crazy race. But good on those guys. You get the confidence no matter it's a mud race, regular race, or whatever. You still get the confidence. I cannot believe somebody took a shot at Trump, and the way this went down is absolutely disgusting.
Decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade and watch the and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see them, but we could hear them. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking, I'm estimating here, I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
This was clearly some sort of an inside job. There's no chance that that guy gets over there and you see people at the rally pointing at him and telling the police officers for 2 to 3 minutes that he's up there with a rifle. Yet this guy still fires off shots, misses Trump, kills a supporter. What? Are you serious? What is wrong with people? And then to see the way some of the media is covering it, I've heard people say that, oh yeah, Trump probably orchestrated this. What are you talking about? You guys are out of your minds. Can you not see what's happening here? This is an attack on the American democracy. We are not Mexico. We are not one of these countries that when somebody gets up there you don't like, they assassinate them. You know what we do in America? We vote them out. And if you're going to go ahead and take shots and turn this thing into a civil war, they're real close, man. They're real close, because that's where we're going with this thing. The next step, had they got Trump, we'd already be there. Had that shot been successful, I can't even imagine what would happen throughout our country. I don't want to see Biden get shot. I don't want to see Trump get shot. I want them voted out. We need to cleanse the system. It's disgusting. What they've done to us over the last, I don't know how long, it's been horrible between the lockdowns and everything else. They are ruining this country and they are dividing us. And that's the problem. They've got everybody on a team, one or the other. You're a Republican or you're a Democrat. Everybody should be upset about this. The fact that there was a calculated assassination attempt on American soil on a former president who's leading and most likely to become the next president. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care if it's any of the candidates. We can't have that in America. If you're a Democrat, Republican, everybody should be pissed about this, and we need to hold them accountable. I'm looking at you, 3-letter agencies. Yeah, CIA, FBI, WHO. I'm looking at you guys and your media conglomerates who are trying to spin this and control. I'm frustrated. I'm sure a lot of you guys are also frustrated. Don't be frustrated at each other. I think 100% we need to drop this entire, I'm not saying don't vote for who you want to vote for. If you want to vote Democrat, vote Democrat. If you want to vote Republican, vote Republican. But just know there is some stuff going on and we all have to stand up against it. And if you have to vote a different party at some point to make a point, to let them know we don't do this, so be it. Man, I don't even know how to put this thing in words. I'm so thoroughly disgusted. The government of the United States, because I 100% believe this was orchestrated. There's no chance the Secret Service doesn't check that roof. There's no chance Trump supporters spotted that guy on the roof, and they did nothing. They didn't even pull Trump off stage. That was intentional. I don't know who all was in on it, but everyone who is in on it, they're traitors to the country. They're traitors to democracy. They need to be dealt with. All right, guys, that's enough of that rant. I'm sure I'll have more on this as we get more details. But as of right now, disgusted, shocked. I'm glad Trump's okay. Whether you're voting for him or not, we don't assassinate political parties in the United States. We don't do it. Don't be pissed at your neighbor who votes different than you. Let's hold these fools accountable.